Welcome to Historic Skylines, where today we continue our incredible journey through the Silk Road and trade expansion. Part 19. A story that transcends geography, politics, and centuries, revealing how the threads of commerce wove the fabric of civilization itself. The Silk Road, more than just a route for merchants, was the grand artery of human interaction, stretching from the ancient capitals of China to the bustling ports of the Mediterranean. Imagine caravans laden with silk, spices, jade, porcelain, and gold, crossing deserts and mountain passes, guided by stars and stories, connecting empires that had never seen each other's faces yet shaped each other's destinies. The expansion of trade along this route was not spontaneous, but a result of deliberate diplomacy, innovation, and curiosity. Under the Han Dynasty, Chinese emperors sought alliances against northern nomads, sending envoys like Zheng Qian westward, whose reports opened gateways to Central Asia. As silk flowed outward, so did ideas Buddhism from India traveled eastward into China, transforming art, architecture, and philosophy. In return, Chinese technologies such as papermaking and gunpowder would later journey westward, altering the course of European history.
The Silk Road's power lay in its diversity.
Traders spoke different tongues, worshipped different gods, and yet found common ground in the universal language of exchange. As the Roman Empire demanded luxury goods, silk became a symbol of wealth and temptation, prompting emperors to ban its use to preserve morality and coin alike. Yet, trade endured, unstoppable, resilient, and in the Parthians, and later the Sassanids, controlled vital middle sections, acting as brokers who taxed and protected caravans, while Central Asian oasis cities like Samarkand and Merv blossomed into cosmopolitan hubs filled with scholars, artisans, and storytellers. With each passing century, new players joined the grand network. Arab merchants mastered the art of navigation across both land and sea, expanding the Silk Roads reached through the Indian Ocean, linking East Africa to the South China Sea. Under the 10th dynasty, Chang'an, today's Xi'an, became the beating heart of global trade. Its markets filled with Persian carpets, Byzantine glass, and Indian spices, while Chinese ceramics and lacquerware dazzled foreign visitors. The Dempsey era also witnessed diplomatic missions, intercultural marriages, and the rise of cosmopolitanism on a scale rarely seen before. Meanwhile, along the sea routes, the Persian Gulf, the Red Sea, and the ports of Southeast Asia created a maritime Silk Road where Daos and Zhengs carried not only goods, but faiths. Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism, enriching the coastal cities of Malacca, Aden, and the 8th to 10th centuries saw the Abbasid Caliphates. Baghdad emerged as a golden center of learning, absorbing knowledge that had traveled through these same trade networks. Mathematics from India, astronomy from Persia, and papermaking from China all converged there, creating what we now remember as the Islamic Golden Age. But the Silk Road was not without peril. Sandstorm bandits and political instability could turn fortune into tragedy. Yet for every caravan lost, another would set forth, driven by the timeless human desire to connect. As trade expanded, it did not merely move goods, it moved identities. Languages borrowed words, cuisines blended flavors, and cities reflected the fusion of cultures. Even the smallest trinket found in archaeological sites speaks of a vast web of human collaboration. During the Mongol Empire's rise in the 13th century, the Silk Road entered a new phase under what historians call the Pax. The Mongols, fierce warriors, yet shrewd administrators, created unprecedented safety across the route, allowing merchants like Marco Polo to journey from Venice to the court of Kublai Khan under Mongol protection. Trade and communication flourished. Innovations such as paper currency, postal networks, and relay stations appeared, and East and West drew closer than ever. Yet this golden age carried both prosperity and peril. The same routes that carried silk and spices also carried disease, most notably the Black Death, which traveled from Asia to Europe, reshaping demographics and economies forever. By the 15th century, the Silk Road began to fade, not from irrelevance, but transformation. The rise of maritime exploration, propelled by new technologies, larger ships, and ambitious empires like Portugal and Spain, shifted global trade from land to sea. The discovery of new oceanic routes reduced the importance of overland caravans. Yet the legacy of the Silk Road never vanished. Its essence lived on in the cities it touched, the words it blended, and the knowledge it transmitted. Modern trade, whether by ship, rail, or digital connection, still echoes its spirit. The belief that prosperity lies not in isolation but in exchange. When we trace the expansion of trade through this vast route, we see that history's true treasure is not the silk or gold that moved across continents, but the ideas that shaped our shared. Every artifact excavated from these trade routes, a Roman coin in a Chinese tomb, a Persian glass in a Japanese temple, Indian bead found in East Africa whispers the same truth, that civilizations grow when they meet, learn, and trade. In this 19th part of our journey, we see how the Silk Road stood as a living network of innovation, faith, and ambition. It bridged the agricultural worlds of China and India with the urban sophistication of Persia and Rome. It introduced the compass, gunpowder, paper, and printing technologies that would ignite revolutions far beyond Asia. The expansion of trade through this network nurtured diplomatic relations and cultural empathy, showing that even amid war and conquest, curiosity and cooperation endured. Merchants became messengers of peace. Scholars became travelers, and travelers became historians, preserving the legacy of their encounters. And while empires fell and new borders emerged, the Silk Road's invisible threads continued to influence global patterns of commerce and communication. Today, as we build modern economic corridors and digital Silk Roads, we are, in essence, reviving the same ancient dream to connect, to exchange, and to grow together. The caravans may have vanished, the oases may have turned to ruins, but the spirit of trade expansion that once linked Xi'an to Constantinople now links every nation through ideas and information. The Silk Road was humanity's first internet, a network of trust, curiosity, and enterprise that shaped the destiny of continents. So, as we stand in the 21st century, looking back at the golden sands and silent ruins of this legendary route, we realize that its story is not confined to the past. It is a mirror reflecting who we are. Travelers, traders, and storytellers forever seeking connection beyond horizons. Thank you for joining Historic Skylines, where every episode turns history into a living journey. And stay tuned for part 20 as we explore how the legacy of the Silk Road continues to shape the modern world.